Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are doing well and good. So in the previous class we have studied about different types of nutrition, that is autotrophic, heterotrophic, and the process of photosynthesis, how the raw materials reach the site of photosynthesis, that is nothing but our leaf. Okay, and I have given homework also. I hope you all have completed your homework, and those who have not completed, please complete it. Okay, today we are going to discuss about chlorophyll. Actually, what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a green colored pigment. Chlorophyll is a green colored pigment. Okay, it is present in the leaf. Okay, and leaves, and I told you plant leaf is a site of photosynthesis. And remember one more thing, green color of the leaves in the plant is due to the presence of chlorophyll. And what your plant leaf will do, plant leaf capture the energy from the sunlight. Okay, energy from the sunlight, and sun is the ultimate source of energy. And remember one thing, without sun there is no photosynthesis, and without photosynthesis there is no world. Okay, so this is the significance of chlorophyll in the plant leaf. Next, we are going to study about the significance of photosynthesis. So, can you able to imagine the world without photosynthesis? Obviously, no. Why? Because of photosynthesis, all plants prepare their food, and many of the heterotrophic organisms directly or indirectly depends upon the food. See, in your previous class, sixth class, you have studied about carnivores and herbivores and omnivores, right? And if you see that carnivores and omnivores, see, what are carnivores? They depends upon the animal meat, right? So what they eat, see, take for example, if you take lion as an example, lion depends upon the deer for meat as a food. And what deer eats your plants. Okay, they depends upon the plants. That means the world is completely depends upon the process of photosynthesis. Either it is directly or indirectly depends upon the food made by the plants. Okay, remember this one, directly or indirectly. How directly? See, directly, that means directly consuming plants, and indirectly means what? And that means the animals which eat leaves will be eaten by the some other animal, that is indirectly. Okay, and one more thing is, what we are inhaling every day, every time, every second, we are inhaling oxygen. And how we are getting oxygen we are getting from the plants. How? It is because of the process of photosynthesis, oxygen. Okay, and in the absence of photosynthesis, it is impossible to imagine the world. Okay, so this is the significance of photosynthesis, and this is very very important. You have to remember this one. This will come throughout your life. Okay, throughout your life, you should remember this one till the end of this earth. See, the whole process of photosynthesis we can represent in the form of equation. What is that equation? If you see here, if you see, I'm taking the green sketch, and carbon dioxide. See, carbon dioxide, I told you how carbon dioxide reach the plant leaf, and also I told you how water reaches the plant leaf. See, these two are the raw materials for the photosynthesis. And I told you, in the absence of photosynthesis, it is in the absence of sunlight, photosynthesis will not takes place. And plants get sunlight from the sun, and your leaf captures the sunlight, and leaf is also a source of chlorophyll, I told you, right? And because of the chlorophyll is a green colored pigment. Because of the chlorophyll only, plants appear green in color. So what plants do? Plants prepare carbohydrate, that is nothing but our food, and it also releases oxygen into the air. Okay, so this is the oxygen what we are inhaling. Because of the oxygen only we are living, right? And we are releasing carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide is utilized by the plants during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so this equation is very very important, you should remember throughout your life. Okay, don't forget this one. Next, I told you that I told you that green plants plants prepare their own food because of the process known as photosynthesis. And you may get a doubt, so does photosynthesis occurs only in plant leaves? No, not only in plant leaves. See some of the green parts of the plant. See, have you ever seen the green parts, any other green parts of the plant? Yes, you might have seen the green stems or branches, right? You might have seen either green stems or green branches. And if you observe the desert plants, if you see aloe, have you ever observed aloe vera, aloe or any other some desert plants? See, nowadays we are using desert plants as a decorative plants in our homes, right? Because they don't need much water. And if you observe desert plants, see, we call desert plants like xerophytes. Okay, remember that one, xerophytes. See, they have a see, desert plants, the water availability in desert is very very less, and they have a huge temperatures, and because of that one they lose a large quantity of water. So in order to reduce that one, what plants do? Plant leaves is modified into a spine like leaves. So in this case what will happen? If leaves are reduced, there is no loss of water. So at that time, how plants prepare their own food? How plants in that case, your green stem carry the process of photosynthesis. You may get a doubt, so does green stem has chlorophyll? Yes, green stems has chlorophyll. Green stems has chlorophyll, that's why it can prepare their own food, otherwise it will not do that one, right? Okay, so remember. So next, you might have seen in your homes, right, a plant with a red and brownish color. So you may get it out that those leaves with red and brown color, are they able to perform photosynthesis? Yes, they can. Obviously they will undergo photosynthesis and they prepare their own food. So I told you chlorophyll is a green color pigment, and because of the chlorophyll only plant leaves appear green in color. So in the leaves with red and brown color, so in that leaves, chlorophyll, the quantity of chlorophyll is less, but chlorophyll is not completely absent. Remember this one, chlorophyll is not completely absent in those leaves, but chlorophyll quantity is very less. So in that case what will happen? Since the chlorophyll is very less, it doesn't give the green color to the leaf. That's why we can see red and brown color. And in those leaves also photosynthesis takes place. Okay, and you remember, in some cases you must have seen the plant with yellow color leaves, right? So in those case, in yellow colored leaf, remember this one, in yellow colored leaves chlorophyll is completely absent. Okay, in chlorophyll is completely absent. In that case plant doesn't perform photosynthesis. That's why plant shed the yellow color leaf. Understand? A plant with yellow color leaf sheds. Or if it is present in the, if that colored leaf, that means yellow color leaf present in the plants also, that is of no use. Okay, so every time I am telling that plants undergoes photosynthesis to prepare their own food. So you may get a doubt, sir, is only plants preparing their own food by undergoing the process of photosynthesis? Yes, there are some other organisms like algae. So you must have seen a green color patches in the ponds and some stagnant water, right? Or in some lakes and rivers also, you must have seen some green colored, that is very slimy. Okay, if you touch that one, it is very slippery, that is like jelly. Okay, so in that algae is also green in color, and that green color is because of the pigment known as chlorophyll. So algae with green colored pigment, that means chlorophyll, they contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis. That means all your algae can also prepare their own food. Understand? Yes. Now synthesis of plant. I told you in the beginning that what are the different components of the food. That is nothing but carbohydrate, proteins and fats, right? See, through photosynthesis plants synthesize carbohydrates, and your carbohydrates are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbohydrates are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. CHO, remember, CHO. Carbohydrates are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So, and further these three components, that means carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, are used to synthesize other components of the food such as proteins and fats. Okay, so how fats are prepared from the carbohydrate? See, carbohydrate, I told you in the previous slide. You see previous slide. Starch is also a carbohydrate. So whenever you consume any food, your carbohydrate is converts into starch. Okay, starch. So if you work a lot, your starch burns and it gives some energy. Suppose if you don't work a lot, what will happen? Your starch is ultimately converts into fats. And what about proteins? See, in order along with carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, your proteins also needs nitrogen. For the synthesis of protein, plants needs nitrogen. Okay, so proteins are nitrogenous substance. That means they contain a nitrogen. They contain nitrogen. Okay, so plants need nitrogen to prepare proteins, and you may get it out how plants obtain nitrogen. Okay, see, in your previous classes you must have studied about the composition of the air. See, what is air? Air is a mixture of gases. In air, if you observe, nearly 78% of your air contains nitrogen. Okay, but however plants cannot absorb nitrogen, that gaseous nitrogen. I told you, right? Gas, that's a gas. So plants cannot take that one. So how then you make it out how they are getting nitrogen, how plants are getting nitrogen? See, in that case, soil has some bacteria. Okay, soil has some bacteria, that is nothing but your rhizobium. The bacteria name is rhizobium. You will study in your next session. Okay, nothing to worry. So they convert the nitrogen gas present in the air into a usable form. Okay, usable form, and they convert gaseous nitrogen into a usable form for the plants and release into the soil. So whenever, see, that's why we water plants. Whenever we water plants, nitrogen which is fixed by the bacteria is dissolved in the water, and that water is absorbed by the plants with the help of roots. Okay, that's why farmers are adding nitrogen rich fertilizers to the soil to improve the nitrogen content in the soil. So in this way plants fulfill their nitrogen requirements along with other constituents. Okay, so remember all these things. Okay students, that's all for today. So I hope you all have enjoyed my session, and remember, today I would like to give you a small homework. So I want you to find out the answers for these questions. So first question, these are the questions, please note down. Question number 1, question number 2 and question number 3. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can contact me through Google Classroom. Okay, thank you so much and have a nice day.